Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we have a quick 20-minute booty and ab workout. This one is really great. It's definitely going to have both your core and ass on fire, which I feel like is what everybody is always wanting. Before we get into any crazy movement, we're going to start nice and slow. So bring yourself into a child's pose. Take a second to just really ground yourself. Think about your intention through the workout. What is it that's going to help kind of push you through the moments where it gets a little bit challenging? Because I know sometimes that burn happens and it's so easy to want to quit and give up. So like, what is the goal? What are the intentions? What's the vision you have? I feel like that always helps me just take it like a step further. We're gonna go ahead and start this thing. So come onto all fours and we're immediately jumping into some donkey kicks. Keeping it nice and simple. Just lift your leg up and down. Not much else happening here. Really think about squeezing the glute every time you press at the top and resist to come down. So a lot of Pilates and mat workouts is all about the resistance and the control. So start pulsing now, just up and down. You're just moving the leg about an inch up and an inch down. So following a similar motion that we started with, just the range of movement is a little bit smaller. So pulsing and pulsing. We have a few more here. Now moving into a straight leg donkey kick. So just straighten that leg out and kick it up and down. Again, all these movements are quite simple, so you want to think a lot about your glutes and like where are you lifting from, and also keeping your upper body super still. The more you can isolate the glute, the more you're going to feel it and the more you're going to be able to see growth in the booty kind of throughout everything that you're doing. So we're moving now into some rainbow kicks. So this time you're going to bring your leg up and over, so kicking to the right and then making a big old rainbow to the left. You're just going to keep repeating this, arching over to the right and arching over to the left. While you're bringing your leg to the different side, you still want to keep your upper body super controlled. There should be no movement happening up there. The only thing that is moving is that leg. So keep going. You guys look amazing. Now we're going to repeat this once again. So now you're on round 2. This is set 2. We're only doing 2 sets. We're not doing 3 sets. So don't give up. Keep going. Just lifting and lowering once again. Keep going. This looks really great. Squeeze those glutes even more, stabilize the upper body even more, and really extend and lift through the toes as you pulse this leg up and up. Don't worry, we're almost done. You just have those last 2 movements. You've been here before, so you know what's coming. So just really focus. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Good. Moving on to those straight ones. Keep lifting. Really extend behind the knee and reach through the toes. Amazing. We only have one more movement. It's just those rainbows. You're almost there, and then you get to switch the legs. You should start to really feel the booty just about now. We're kind of getting into past the warm-up. You're definitely probably going to start to feel things kind of firing up. You might not like me that much right now, but you probably will not like me once we get to the middle of this workout, but you will love me once it is said and done. So keep going. Just a few more. You're so close. And there you are. Good. Take a stretch back. Just loosen that glute up. I know we're just getting started, so it helps just kind of take a nice little stretch after that bit of work before we move into the other side. So now you're just doing the exact same thing you did, just on the other side of the body. I feel like sometimes it's easier when you know what's coming up and like what to expect. Sometimes it makes it easier. Sometimes it makes it harder because you like can kind of dread like, oh, I need to do all of the stuff I just did. But it's kind of nice to know, okay, I've been here before, and just really think about like squeezing those glutes and getting the same activation you got out of the other side, now on this side. So again, moving into those pulses, pulsing up and down, up and down. You can go as small as 2 inches, you can go as big as 2 inches. It's whatever you're feeling. The goal is to just keep the glute lifted and activated the whole entire time. Back into those straight legs, so lifting up and down, up and down. I'm moving at kind of like a medium speed, but feel free to slow this down even more. The more you slow this down, the more challenging it's going to be. If you want an even more added challenge, if you want to really amplify this, grab a band, throw it around your legs, and keep like one. So in this position, you'd have the band underneath your knee and the other one around like kind of your calf area or the back of the other knee. And that's going to add just even more resistance. And the more resistance you have, obviously, the harder the movement's going to be. But if you don't have bands, you definitely don't need it, especially as we're moving through this whole workout. You are going to be feeling that burn regardless of the band or not. So you're almost coming at the end of this first set. So you're finishing up those rainbows, and then once again, we're gonna repeat everything on this side because obviously we have to even it out. I know it might not be the funnest thing, and sometimes, especially in like mat classes in person, you'll notice that the teachers may like skip a move or two, and that's because like they're doing everything from memory. Lucky for you guys, since this is virtual and on video, I can correct my mistakes when I accidentally don't do enough of like reps on one side versus the other. So you guys are definitely getting an even amount on both sides. Don't worry, you'll have a nice big booty on both sides, not just one. Okay, keep going. So you're just pulsing and pulsing. We're kind of coming to the end of this movement. You guys will get a little bit of a break on the booty, but not for long. This whole workout is honestly kind of full body, and you'll notice that it'll start to engage your upper body as well, because truly in any movement you're doing, you're using your whole body. Even in this movement, you're having to stabilize the upper body, which takes activation. If you were not activating your upper body at all, it'd probably be moving all over the place. So the more still you are, the more you're engaging the whole body, which is ultimately going to give you even more results. So you're almost done here. We're just finishing up with those rainbows. Those look really good. Really extend behind the knee, straighten that leg, and really lift from the glute and pull it back down. Great. You guys are absolutely killing it. Just a few more left. You're almost there and done. Good. Take a second to stretch it out, but we are moving straight into some ab work. We're starting with planks. So this is where you're going to notice that your upper body might fire up a little bit. Embrace that. Embrace the burn. Right now we're just holding a plank to start to really feel that core. So just hold nice and stable right there. Really pull your waist up and draw your tailbone down. That's going to engage your abs even more. If you can, make sure you have your arms just in a straight line in front of you. And then we're going to move into some twists. So just twist the body from the right and the left. Good. Keep going. Keep that waist drawn up towards your spine. That looks great. Really, really twist. Can you try and reach your hip for the other side of the mat? Good. Keep those arms planted and firmly down on the mat. Keep going. Just a few more here, but we're not getting out of this plank yet. So keep holding. I want you to really challenge yourself to stay in the plank the whole entire time. Do not drop those knees. Now we're just shifting forward and back. Shifting forward and back. So you're just moving up on your toes so that you're more on those arches. We're almost done here. This is your last little sequence in this plank. Great, you guys made it. So now you can take a little bit of a rest, but we're moving straight into some glute work. Your arms are probably gonna feel pretty, your shoulders are gonna feel a little bit on fire, but this is really the only shoulder work or upper body activation that you have. So I want you to stay with it. We're moving into kind of a modified donkey kick. It's similar to what we did at the beginning with just the lifting and lowering of the legs. So keep that going, just really pulsing. We're just at a different angle now, so it just slightly changes how it feels in your body. You might notice that it's a little bit harder, maybe it's a little bit easier for you. I feel like it's definitely harder after all of that plank work. Now we're doing some fire hydrants, so you're pulling your knee towards your shoulder. While you pull your knee towards your shoulder, I want you to try and move your upper body as little as possible. Everything should be pulling from that oblique and that hip. Good. Switching to the other side, lifting up and down. The good news is that we only have one set on each side, so I'm not gonna make you guys do this twice like we did at the beginning. You're just lifting up and down here because I know those arms are on fire too, and this is not supposed to be an upper body workout, but like I said, it's always a full body workout. Good. Your glutes are probably on fire once again, really reactivating those, and now you're pulsing up. Really reach your toes for the ceiling and keep your waist drawn in the whole entire time. It's really easy when you're in a position like this to just let the stomach kind of push out or fall out. I want you to think about keeping it engaged by pulling the waist in and drawing the tailbone down. That's going to get so much more out of these exercises. So now we're just doing that fire hydrant on the other side. As you can tell, you can even see that I'm needing to take a little bit of a break, but we're going to keep pushing through it. You're almost done, so just really pull that knee towards the shoulder. Good, and take a break. shift back a little bit, stretch it out. You guys are absolutely killing it. And we're gonna turn over to some reverse planks. I feel like a lot of people aren't typically in this range of motion, and it's actually very difficult. So you're gonna be pressing up. You wanna keep your shoulders rolled back and your chest open to the ceiling, kind of on that high vertical, and then you're gonna start lifting your leg. So we're not here for too long. You're lifting and lowering, and now you're just extending the leg out straight. That lift and lower just helps kind of get you like a feel of the movement essentially, and then we're switching legs. So it's not long at all, but I want you to really keep those like the hips lifted towards the ceiling. Even mine are dropping a little bit. I want you guys to try and lift the hips higher. Wherever you're at, I want you to lift them higher and higher. You guys got it. You're just extending out, bending the knee back in, extending out and in. Draw those ribs back to the spine, and there you go. You can sit straight back down. You can take a little stretch forward, stretch out the calves, the back of the hamstrings, flex your feet, pull on them. That'll help to get you like an extra stretch and get a little bit deeper there before we move into some more core work. This time you're off your upper body, so it makes it a little bit easier, but it also is a completely different range of motion that makes it a little bit harder. So bring the knees into the chest, kind of roll it out, take a breath, and we're gonna move into some single leg stretches. So grab your hands onto one ankle and just begin to switch your legs back and forth. Good. Keep your like upper body lifted. So you want to be lifting your shoulders and your head off of the mat. Your ribs are still going to be pressing down into the mat. We want a nice opposition there as you roll your shoulders back. Good. Keep switching and switching. Your core is just getting started now, but by the end of this little sequence, it's going to be dying for a break. Trust me, but keep going. There, now pull both your knees and keep your head lifted and extend both your legs and arms out on a high diagonal, and then pull everything back in. So good, extend and pull back in. Inhale to extend, exhale to pull everything back in. Keep going, really press those ribs down into the mat and glue the hips onto the mat. Good, reaching out, really squeezing the legs and lengthening through the toes. Last few. And extend your legs to the ceiling. I don't want you to drop your head yet, and we're just moving into some scissor kicks. So grab onto the ankle and switch the legs. You're gonna do a slight pull on the end. It'll just help to give you a little bit of a stretch. So switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull. Great. Keep going through all of this movement. I do not want you to drop your head. I want you to keep the head and shoulders lifted, but I want you to still roll the shoulders back. We don't want to add extra tension. I know for me, like I hold so much tension in my shoulders. The last thing we want to do is make that worse. Good. Pause at the top and wrap your like hands behind your head. And now we're just lowering and lifting the legs. So I want you to squeeze the legs together, squeeze the heels together, but keep the toes apart and lower the legs down and lift them back up. Only lower them down as low as you can go to keep the back and spine planted on the mat. We don't want any like gapping between your spine and the mat. We want everything to be pressing into the mat and into the ground. Good. We only have a few more here. You guys are killing it. There's just a few more left. Last few. Really squeeze those legs together. And draw the knees in. Good. Moving into some bicycles. Twist to one side and then switch the legs. So you're bending one, twisting to that side with the other leg extended out. Good. Keep switching and switching. The goal here is to really control this movement. Once again, control is a huge thing, but if you're doing bicycles super quick because it hurts, you're just losing so much of the benefits from it. So you want to really hit each movement before you switch. So really like hit and hold, and switch, hit and hold, then switch. Good. This is the last little thing you have here. Last few. Good. Go ahead and rest your head down and extend your legs out straight in front of you. I want you to glue your legs together, flex your feet, and extend your arms behind your head. We're just going to do some roll-ups, kind of like a sit-up. So just roll yourself up and then roll yourself down, placing one vertebrae down at a time. So the slower you can roll down, the more like of your core you're going to activate and really engage. So lifting up and trying to keep the legs glued while you lift up, and set the spine down one vertebrae at a time. Lift up, get a nice stretch, reaching over the toes. Can you move down even slower? We'll do one more. Lift up, really flex those toes, and down as slow as possible. Great, amazing. Moving into some leg circles, bring your knee into the chest, extend it to the ceiling, and just circle your leg down, around, back, and up. Down, around, and up, while the other leg is staying glued into the mat with a flexed foot. Good, keep going. This should almost feel like a nice little break. Then we're gonna reverse the circle, moving it out, down, around, and up. It's just nice to be able to take, I feel like, a nice breath down here. So make sure you do some breathing before we move into a little bit more work. Scissor kick the legs to switch. Again, just circling the legs around. We don't have too many reps here, so it's not too bad. Make sure you're really flexing that bottom foot and pressing it into the mat and gluing your hips into the mat while you extend behind the back of the other leg that's lifted. Good, last few here. This looks amazing. You guys are almost done with this thing, so stay with me. And bend the knee into the chest and extend it onto the ground. Now bring both knees towards your seat and lift your hips for some glute bridges. You guys know that I could not do like a glute booty activation workout without these. I love this movement, so just lift your hips up and pull them back down. I think people think about hip thrusts as needing to hip thrust this super heavy weight, and don't get me wrong, I love that, but there is also so much benefit to using the body weight method of this. I feel like you can actually really think about your glutes so much more, and it's a great way to start before you move into the gym, is really getting familiar with body weight and how that feels for your body. So now, as you can see, our arms are lifted. This is just going to help to bring in a little bit more work. So we're re-engaging the arms like a little bit, opening and closing those legs, keeping the feet parallel. Great. Now we're going to extend the arms overhead while we lower our seat down to the ground and lift everything back up. Good. Extend everything and lift. Keep going. We're almost done. You guys are so close to the finish line here. Don't give up on me now. Just keep going, lifting and lowering. Really push those ribs back down into the spine as you lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Great. Last few. And bring the arms down. Now extend your right leg out straight. This is kind of your last little burn you have here, and we're doing like a one leg hip thrust. So extend it straight with those pulses, gluing and pushing your arms into the mat. It's going to help give you some more stability. So keep lifting. Now hold and extend the leg up straight. So lower the leg to 45 and extend it to 90. Up and down. Up and down. Last few. Once again, we're not doing a ton of sets here. It's just this one burnout. Down and up. Lower the hips, and now we're going to move into some straight leg crunches using those obliques. So lift the leg and crunch to the right side as you lift the leg up. Good. Crunch up and kick and bring everything back down. Crunch up and down. Good. Keep going. You guys are killing it. This is literally the last stretch you have here until we flip over to the other leg, and you guys are basically done. Now do a little pulse. So bring that leg to 45 and just pulse, 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 really reaching for the wall or whatever is near you. Pretend you're trying to grab it and reach farther and farther and farther. Good. Bend everything down. Now just lift the hips back up. We're going to move to the other side. So extend the left leg out, really straighten behind the leg and just lift the hips up and down. Good. Really control this motion, so lifting up and lowering down, up and down. If you want to make this a little bit harder, don't place your hips all the way onto the mat, and you can just hover it an inch above and continue to lift up. As you can tell, we've moved into those straight leg lifts. So once again, lowering the leg down to 45 and lifting it up to 90. Good. Lowering down, lifting up, down and up. Good. Lower the seat and move to those crunches. So kick the leg up while you crunch to that side. This is going to help to really engage those obliques. We've done a lot of focus on your center core and your rectus abdominis. So now we're moving more into those inner and external obliques. Good. Kicking up and lowering down. Last few before we finish with those pulses. Hold the leg at 45 and pulse, pulse, pulse. You guys got it. Keep those shoulders rolled back and really extend through the back of that leg. Last few and relax down. Congratulations, you have made it. You deserve a nice big stretch, so just extend your legs out long in front of you and reach your arms up and over your head. And I want you to think about having one person's pulling your toes while someone else is pulling your hands. So you're getting a nice oppositional stretch there, and it feels so, so good on the spine. Now just bring your arms to your side, take a moment to take a breath in, appreciate all the hard work you just did and the gratitude for your body that's allowed you to do all this movement. And I will see you guys next time with another video. Take the chance.